Welcome to the Easy Computer Fixes channel, and today we're going to answer a question that is in reality a very simple answer, a very simple question, but that because most people don't understand what RAM is and how it's being used, very often you have bad answers or bad choices. So in a PC, in a computer, RAM memory is what is used while the system is working. Why? Because it's really fast. So it actually helps your computer run smoothly. The difference between RAM and the hard drive storage, well, very simple. RAM is what the PC uses. Usually it's it's 4 or 8 or 16 gigabytes. It's a smaller number. Where the hard drive usually is a bigger number, like 256 or 512 gigabytes, or 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, depending on the machine you've got. The hard drive is just the storage space. It's where Windows resides, your files and everything. That RAM is something that's used all the time while your computer is working. It's like a workspace for the computer. So if your workspace is too small, you got to compensate. So if there's not enough RAM, usually what happens is that it will compensate with the hard drive, and now it really slows down your PC. RAM is interesting because if you ask like tons of people that know somewhat about computers, they'll probably have different answers and you'll just be lost. So how much RAM do you really need in a PC? Well, there was an interesting study, and I talked about it a little bit in my tech news today. And that study is actually comparing how much RAM people have and how they're using their PCs, and basically, drawing the line saying, well, how much RAM do you really need in a PC? And it was very interesting because the bottom line was that people do pretty much nothing with their computers. And because of that pretty much nothing with computers, the 4 gigabyte of RAM is like really nice and really okay. And for most people that would be okay. And you know what? If you install 8 instead of 4 in that machine, most people will never use it, honestly. So that's the interesting part of that. So what's my recommendation personally? My recommendation is if you buy a computer, of course, try to get 8 gigabytes of RAM. I think 8 gigabytes is kind of the magic number, and for 90% of people watching this video, it's going to be more than enough, and it will actually go through the life of your PC without any problems. So 8 gigabytes is kind of the magic number here. So if you can get that, you'll be quite all right. Now, a lot of people buy lower grade PCs or cheaper PCs because they don't want to spend too much money on a computer. Don't go below 4 gigabytes. Okay, never buy something below 4 gigabytes. That will be a slow machine. But if you get 4, it should be fine and it should be okay, honestly. And always remember that except for some tablets and certain types of PCs, most PCs are still upgradable in RAM. So you can actually, boost that from 4 to 8 or 16 if you ever need more. But don't buy something that has less than 4 gigabytes because I don't think you'll be happy with it. And why would there be a use for more than 8? Well, it depends on who you are. If you're a gamer, if you are somebody that works a lot with the PC and has multiple windows open, like 10 or 15 different programs or windows, and well, you know what? I would then maybe having 16 or 32 gigabytes might be useful. But these are for power users or gamers. These people will need typically more RAM. And don't forget, because a lot of people, one of the main things that I see all the time is that people will simply look at Windows 10 and say, oh my God, it uses so much more memory than Windows 7. It's a memory hog. It's not. It's just that Windows 10 has a much more efficient way of using RAM, so it actually uses as much as it needs and as much as it can predict that you will need to make things already faster, rather than just taking what you need at the moment of being used. So it's so much more efficient than that in Windows 7 that actually Windows 7 is really dumb in memory management. It's actually an horrible system for that. And so yes, it will use more RAM. It's not because it uses more RAM. It's because it is trying to optimize everything to make things fast as soon as you need it. And basically, you know, will not need more. It doesn't need more RAM to run Windows 10 than Windows 7, honestly. And so my recommendation, 8 gigabytes. If you get 4, you'll be okay. More than that, you know what? I see so many people that have 16 or 32 and just don't use it because they do nothing with their PC. And they think, wow, it's just like I got so much RAM, it must be much better than others. No, actually, there are even some studies that show too much RAM unused is actually slowing down your PC. So that's pretty much my take on it. And don't go over crazy on the amount of RAM needed in a PC. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and thank you so much for following us on this channel.